Welcome to Know Your Money, where we will explore our relationship with money and how the psychology of it impacts our financial decisions, as everyone thinks about money differently. In our podcast, we'll be presenting a variety of financial topics in an easy-to-understand way, which we hope will assist you with managing your money. Welcome to Know Your Money, everybody. Craig, Warren, how are you guys today?
Good, Bron, looking all good. And Warren, how are you doing?
Okay. I got a bit of a cold, but we'll soldier on.
Is this the sleeping problem with your new little beautiful son?
He is beautiful. He is wonderful. Now I think it's just part of life, unfortunately. But you guys are looking well.
Yeah, great. So, Bron, an interesting topic today.
Yes, so we thought we would discuss a financial windfall. So that is, for example, the sale of your house. Now you have this bunch of money, or you get a payout from a disability or an inheritance. I think often people get a windfall of money and then they don't know what to do with it, or they know too much what to do with it and then it's gone. So we thought it might be a good topic to discuss. What are your thoughts?
No, I agree, because I've had clients who've had these windfalls. For example, you'll sell a property and for some reason you got a lot more than you expected. Now what do you do with that extra money? Or somebody might have got an inheritance from a grandparent or a parent, and now they've got this extra money, and how do they invest that money? Yeah. And that's always the problem. But then we were talking about, are you a saver or a spender? And that might be the crux of it.
I definitely think so, because for some people, they get that windfall and they automatically spend it very quickly. Or for other people, they get that windfall and then they save it, but are they saving it in the right place, in the right area, making it the most tax efficient? So I definitely think this is a two-part conversation, because the one part would be geared towards the person that is a saver, how to help them navigate where that should be saved. And the other part is for the spender, how to navigate yourself against yourself in a way.
Protect yourself against it.
Yeah.
Because I've had experience with two spenders in my career where they've such a nice windfall that they could have set themselves up for the future and their retirement and their current situation, but they almost blew the money on silly things. And that was a real eye-opener for me.
And what would you have done differently?
I definitely would have put a large lump sum into a retirement annuity, because that would protect themselves against spending the money and also prolong that retirement. So in other words, you can't draw it until 55, and when you do draw it, you have to draw most of it as a pension. So you don't get this lump sum and perhaps do something silly with it. It's locked away. The growth is good. We've spoken about that over the other episodes. You're going to get disallowed contributions coming into play. But the main thing is to make sure that money is there for the future. So I think on those two cases, I definitely would have tied some of it up in a retirement annuity, also paid off debt. But the problem with paying off debt is that you can pay off debt and still have the facility to go back into debt. And both cases, I did that. Yeah. So pay off debt, actually cut up your credit card and not use it again. Pay off bond and actually close the bond. But both of those people didn't do that, It's all very well said, and, to do that, it takes a lot of discipline to do that. But that is the right way. And especially the credit card scenario, if you can pay it and reduce it and then just pay it off every month. But, people who spend tend to go back into debt.
What I find interesting about what you said was the lump sum. That's often the problem. So I remember a few of those lottery winners. There was one in the UK in particular, I remember, won something like £8 million. And within 5 years, he was broke. And obviously he didn't go to a financial planner or have anything like that, but it's that you get such a massive amount of money that you think it never ends.
Yeah.
That you don't really have to account for it anymore. So I've got loads of money now, I'm good.
Yeah.
So Warren, part of our financial planning is not to suggest you buy a lottery ticket, but a client of mine years and years ago did win the lottery. And unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. They did improve their house, and the house that they did improve, they still have that home. But the rest of the money, it's not there anymore. It just seemed to have disappeared. And looking back, I should have definitely tied it up for them in a way that they couldn't get it. Some of those international lotteries will pay you monthly. They pay you more if you take it monthly. And you're right, the lump sum is the problem.
So to me, that's not the problem. To me, the problem is the person. So if you have certain money beliefs or certain money mindsets, like, for example, rich people are not nice people, you're going to not want to be rich. So if that lump sum comes in, you're going to go and spend it all. For like the spenders, for example, they go into debt and then they come out of debt. And like a lot of the things that you were saying now, like someone will go pay off their debt, but then they keep the credit card. Like, why do they keep it? Because they either have that like scarcity mindset, or what if I'm in trouble again? I need to have the credit card. So it's a lot to do with your mindset as well that needs to change when this windfall comes in. Because if you don't work on how you view yourself or how you view money, you're going to put yourself back in that same position.
Correct.
As you were. So often people are in debt because that's sort of where the
habits are.
Yes.
Also, we go back to what you said as well. What about the saver?
Yeah.
The saver might put in the wrong place and they're worried about the money anyway, and they've got the money. And also those type of people need to enjoy some of the windfall as well. Because we're not saying save everything. You got to say also enjoy it.
Yeah.
A holiday, whatever takes you your fancy, not just to be worried about the money. So yes, I think you are right in saying it's a mindset of how you are towards money.
And that's where I think like the program that we're busy developing at Growth Financial Planning is a part of that. So, the first thing you determine is, are you a spender or are you a saver? The next leg of that is to understand that there's a relationship with money. And often people think that it's one relationship, but it's not necessarily. Like, there's actually 7 different things. So you can receive money, so that would be like that. You can earn money, so that can be from a salary or a business. You can give money, you can save it, you can keep it, or you can grow it. And if you've never had a relationship with growing money, and now you've got this huge amount, you're not going to know how to nurture or work that relationship. And often all of those are impacted by either your mindset, your beliefs, your patterns, or your emotions. And all of those things can factor into it. So like that guy you're talking about that had that 8 million, it could have been a pattern that he always spent all his money, or it could have been emotional, trying to get love from people, so spending it on them and then just going through it. So you'd really have to sit and figure out stuff, in my view, when you do have these windfalls. Financial planning is definitely so important. Where do you put it? What do you pay off first? How do you do that? But the behavior of the person is more important than that aspect first,
and
I think.
But you need help. You can't do it on your own.
100%.
There's no doubt about
help.
that.
Yeah. And as a financial planner, so if you don't feel like you need those things, I definitely think what you've said is right. Like, you've got to look at debt and sort of clearing that first. And then secondly, where to put that money and what would be the best tax efficient way and the most beneficial for you. Yeah.
And I suppose everybody is a case by case as well. So when you say you have your program at Growth, you're looking at people individually.
Absolutely.
So it's not only their circumstances, it's not only how they think about money. There's many factors, right?
Correct.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. Financial planning generally looks at the logical factor, like this is what you should do.
How do we maximize your returns in the growth? Yes.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah,
Yes. But then the behavior is where that happens, where that's important. Like with what Craig was saying, yes, pay off your debt. But for someone that keeps going into debt, then you need to close your credit cards and have an emergency fund that you go to. How do you close that without feeling like, oh, now I'm not going to have access to a 200,000 Rand overdraft? You got to work through those emotions. So I think it's important.
No, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think like the take homes for that is, if you do get a windfall, really do definitely go seek advice and sit with it about how you actually feel about money. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Great. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Warren.
Bite-sized
guys.
today. I like it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Be well.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed this podcast, would like to subscribe, please visit our website www.growthfp.co.za. The information we have provided in this podcast is our personal opinion. For more detailed information, please discuss your financial situation with a financial planner.